All right, all you devils, happy Friday. All right, here we go. I've got, let's see, I've got 9 altcoins teed up. Of course, we're going to start with Bitcoin. We'll dig right into that. It's certainly a good time to be a crypto trader, so we're going to stay focused over there. I will get to that shortly. Just before I do, just a reminder, any of you that of course, members will know about this, but any of you considering, right, maybe joining our Discord or getting involved in our belt system or some of the things that we're offering. This is a nice little contest that we're offering for the month of December with our sponsor, BloFin. All right, so it's a volume-based competition, right? There's, what do we got? 850 of USDT is up for grabs here, so highest volume, right? Those are the kind of requirements here. So that's just something kind of fun we're doing, right? It makes it, of course, the idea is to encourage you to come over here and try BloFin. I think you'll find it certainly very, very competitive and lots going for it. Mainly, no KYC, right? You're up running with less than 5 minutes. You throw a little crypto in there, you're good to go. Okay, so with that said, let me come back to Bitcoin here. So looking at the weekly to start with, despite the little whale dump yesterday, not much to change here. I mean, we're in this nice little channel here. Let me go down to a daily. Before we do it here, let me just, we had quite the volatility, right? So somebody dumped here. This was a trade we were in, right? So just we don't want to show only winners. This is one here I took, right? I encouraged others to take because there was such a good risk reward here, right? So we had a candidate for a 1-2 going up for the 1, 2, 3, 4 at the median line, all looking good. Very obvious DQ invalidation point here. So it was about a 4-1 with a target of 108. Whew. Right, and I posted this for members here. We were looking for a little reaction here at between the 23 and the 38. Little reaction off of the median line. I entered here and kept my stop down here, and then whoa. I mean, whatever that was, it was severe. It doesn't seem to have impacted the trend, so likely somebody, we can speculate what that is. Right, somebody wanting a better price. But it certainly was a lot of volume, and it came fast and it came hard, and boy. What did we drop there, right? 14K and not very long, about 2 hours here. Almost all the way back here, coming right back to it. But just, right, when you have a plan, right, the key to it is that we took the stop, right? And we didn't go high. What I had suggested to members was let's nibble here. I will often suggest an appetizer here. If we start to get traction, right, then add to it so you can layer it on the way. Of course, that was spanked hard, right? So that does happen. That's part of the reality of trading. Now, with that said, right, and just acknowledging, right, that we take stops just like anyone else. Here, this is we've had to adjust the count, obviously, right, after that move. So I use this as a little bit of a teachable moment because it was a reminder moment for me. So when I first looked at this, I was considering that we might have a combo here going WX and then anticipating that, perhaps we had A, B, C to finish it. So it would be 3, A, B, C. So we'd have WXY. Well, one of my senseis, right, I will often remind you guys, these guys are more academically advanced Elliott Wave traders than I. Right? They're all level 3. I'm just a level 1. But I've just been trading longer than they have. But this is a kind of a thing. This is why I employ these guys. One, they're good traders. Two, they're excellent technicians, and they have, of course, advanced knowledge in Elliott Wave. Well, this was just a little reminder. So I can't do it that way, right? As Tony Talon, one of my senseis, who is a level 3 master Elliottian, reminded me that per Elliott Wave International rule set, right, which is what we use to, kind of as the foundation of the rules and guidelines, that if it's a sideways combo, I cannot have 2 actionary waves. So because this is an ABC here, we have to call it a zigzag because the B did not go high enough to call it a flat. So it's a zigzag. So that makes this the corrective X coming into this. This is what creates the sideways. Well, we couldn't then in turn have another zigzag, right? Per Elliott Wave rules, you cannot have 2 actionary waves in a sideways combo, right? Now that maybe you don't give a shit, but if you're studying Elliott Wave, that's the point of these rules and guidelines is they're likely going to keep you on the right side of the market more often than not. That's why we use them. But this is just a little reminder, and you might feel like, oh fuck, who cares? What? Again, right there. So you might, I understand that thinking, but again, these are established over 96 years. They've certainly served the Elliott Wave traders well, right? Those that don't dabble with it and then bail, say, oh, it's too hard. So one possibility here is that we've just got a sideways, we've got a flat, right? So 3, 3, 3. Is this 3? Well, we'd kind of want to see a little more subdivision here. Could we get a 5? Maybe that's the 4, 5. So in actual, we could do it this way. Let's be precise here. I should have fixed that. So this would be that. We're doing it. So one way to look at this, right? We just look at the volume profile, right? What we've done here, of course, we had the big pump up here to break 100. That's there's buyers up there, right? Always. I mean, there is no higher risk location to buy the market than at the all-time high, right? So, right, just a little reminder there why we strongly discourage you from doing that, right? So even if you think about where we took the stop over here, we're not buying the high. We're playing the retracement. All right, here's the impulse retrace right now. Of course, some whale dumped on us, but that's the point. These rules and guidelines will indeed guide you and keep you on the right side of the market. So do we have a flat? 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, God, you can even get it in a 10-minute. You'd have to do it here. You might. Oh shit! Let me get this stuff off of here. Keep you on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Candidate. So this would have to go up a degree. Bear with me here. I'll fix this. Thought I had this sorted out. 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So we put candidate now. It's a little funky to getting started. Now I'm on a 15-minute. Looks like we're coming back to challenge that. If we do that, again, I mean, do what you want, right? But I would discourage you from being that guy. What it would be some breakup story. We'd have a higher high, right? So what do we anticipate after that, right? Retrace. So. Make your own decisions here, but we would strongly encourage you to. Why? Well, you're just setting yourself up to be in an uncomfortable position. Let's say it that way, right? So I would strongly discourage that. But if we get something like this, right? If indeed, this is going to end up being something impulsive, right? That one, when it comes back to it. Now you may say, well, what if it doesn't come back? Well. Welcome to trading, right? There's no certainty. If it doesn't come back, it doesn't come back. At some point, there will be, as there always is, there will be a retracement. Here, right? Is it up at 125? Well, you're like, you got to make your own decisions based on what your objective is, right? If your objective is to just YOLO and go for it, well, okay, have at it. If your objective is to sustain a long-term career as a trader, or whether it's a career or not, but it's something that you invest a lot of time and energy in, that won't serve you well repeatedly. Okay, right. So let me. I think with Bitcoin here, if indeed we and again, I'm just kind of framing this with the volume profile, which would probably make sense. It's not quite right there. I don't think, right? I'm not on an hour, even at a 15-minute one. What is it? Can't really get a handle on it. So I wouldn't take any action on that. Right? It's, again, I'm picky about what I trade. Now that setup yesterday was textbook perfect, right? We didn't get it, but I would take that trade 100 out of 100 times. I would take this trade 0 out of 100 times, or buying the high 0 out of 100, right? Choose your own rules, right? These are mine, right? I just share them with you. I'm not trying to be an asshole about it or tell you what to do. I'm just saying these are rules that I've developed over 30 plus years of doing this, and it's plenty of mistakes, errors, and lost money. So, that's how you develop rule sets. Okay. I just got filled on something. All right. So let me keep moving here. So what I often do on these, particularly when we're focused on crypto as we are here, I come over to these guys here. I'm a big fan of theirs. Was an early investor. Strongly recommend them. Right, Some of you take advantage, some don't. I think you'll find this is a very, very good value for the dollar, but I just share it with you here. So what I do, I come over here to technical analysis and say, okay, well, everything's ripping. Well, let me see pullbacks in an uptrend. Now, some of these are deeper than others, but we'll go. I've got 9 here. Some of these we've looked at recently, but there's a little updating on these. So we'll start with FLOKI. That's still on their hot list. Well, it's a good mix here. So let's just work over it here. So I've got the whole lineup here already teed up, ready to go. So let me pull that off to the side. Okay, so let's start with FLOKI. We looked at this recently. It sure looks like well, this is a little tricky here. It does look like it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're seeking, right, per this one, we're seeking the third to that one because I've got this beautiful impulse that's inside, right? So this impulse here is really steering the count because it's when you're right here, you're thinking 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that's not going to be 3. So there's 2, right? Again, here's where Elliott Wave structure pattern recognition will guide you, right? I mean, that's why we use it, right? It gives you a framework. Now you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to love Elliott Wave, but what you'll see here week after week here is our methodology, right? Where we use Elliott Wave to frame it. Of course, Elliott Wave is market structure. Geometry and fib relationships. It's again, you watch. I have 6 years of doing this. You could watch any videos over the last 6 years. They're all going to be exactly the same. Oh, hang on. Just a trade. Stop. Okay, it's hard to do this and have open orders at the same time. Okay, all right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like we're seeking that, right? Nice channeling here. We'll take you up to the 3. Now, that's going to be a monster 3. So somewhere down in here to correct that. So if this is the 2, I mean, look how far we've gone. Granted, I'm in log scale. So if we're going to pivot up here, put the 4 down here. So somewhere in this pocket between 2338 would be the ideal location, right? So you'd come back into all of this consolidation here, come back in for the 4. So perhaps, this is what you're waiting for, something like this, up for the 5. So that's a bit of a hurry up and wait. Now you could, right, if you're aggressive and you want to take a swing at FLOKI, right, you're right in the pocket here for this 4. It may not be, it's not terrible, right? But we were just in this consolidation, right? It's a little shaky as to what would come out of there. Let me get this out of here. But the same kind of a thing here. We have a very clear invalidation, right? If this is going to hold as an impulse, right? Well, we can't overlap that 1. So whether we come down a little bit lower, because this is not a great launch from the pivot. Oh, yeah, let me get some of this out of here. There we go. We got Vegas Wave is holding that rather nicely. Well, if the 4 were here or here, well, let's go down to a 1. It's a lot of slop, a lot of chop here. It makes me cautious. Is that 1, 2? Well, what's that, right? So it makes me a little uneasy to chase something where I don't have clarity. Now, I can appreciate that might be a subjective term, but is this a flat, right? Are we coming in here, or are we doing a triangle? Is this A, B, C, D, E, something like that? You can certainly see that as a candidate, A, B, C, D, E. Come in like this or something around here. That's what I'd be watching for. Oh, get in there. Something like this. Now, some of these, right, when I do that hot list, when I do this list, right, they may not be ripe, right, per our methodology, but at least they're pulling back, right, which is what we're going to look for. Oh, HBAR is off of that. Okay, so if this looks like it's consolidation. Probably you're in a squeeze. You are. Black is squeeze, right? So we're in a consolidation. One thing we know for sure, right? Where can we have certainty? From that contraction will come expansion. Now, we don't know which way it's going to expand, but that's where the Elliott Wave can be very influential in what side we'd be leaning towards. So if I'm looking for a trade here and I have a very clear exit, well, that might be too far to take it here with a stop down here. Well, let's just tee that up, right? Oh, fuck, where'd you go? All right, so if I were in here, there's my exit, right? Overlapping that 1. That would be at minimum I'd go after, which would be 3 to 1, get something like that. That's a bit large, right? So all that means is, of course, that you're just going to reduce the size so you can accommodate that per your risk tolerance. Now, if we come down a little bit lower here, the E can overshoot. Gets a little better. Then you're at 4 to 1. Maybe you get that kicker for the 5th here to go right up to that trend line. Tradable, but you'd want it to pull back a little bit, right? So with a triangle like this, that is, what is that? I think I'll take that out. With a triangle like this, you can see the potential liquidity that's down here, right? So you can see, oh, well, they're going to come sweep that, sweep that. Well, yeah, an E can overshoot a little bit, right? You can allow for that here. Now, if it's going like that, now we're out of a triangle, right? But I would allow for a little wick to come down here and maybe sweep that, as an E is prone to do that, or either undershoot or overshoot. Right, it's just kind of characteristic of that last wave. As the market's in this consolidation, right? Are we going this way? Well, if we were going that way, then you'd be thinking A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something deeper is happening, and we're going to blow up the impulse. So we have this clear range here, and again, I propose to you that's a huge advantage for an Elliottician over any other technical approach. My opinion, right? Agree, disagree, but there it is, right there in your face. Okay, so there's that's FLOKI. Okay, let's keep moving down our list so I don't go for 3 hours here. Helium. Oh, give us a little room here. Hang on one sec. Jeez, I have to edit that out. Or I'm just managing a trade at the same time. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's see, where are we here? Let's see, that's a 2 hour. Let's go to a 4. Sure looks like, well, here, let's go all the way back out to a daily, start from scratch. Here we go. All right, so boom, boom. Now, out of log scale, right? Welcome to crypto. Round trip, all the way up, all the way back. Now we're starting again. Okay, so now we can go to log scale. All right, all of crypto basically did the same thing, right? Where there was this consolidation. And then we launched, right? So you can see this cause and effect, right? So here, consolidation, contraction, expansion, right? Again, it's probably the single most consistent phenomenon in the markets. From contraction comes expansion, which is why I'm such a huge, huge fan of the squeeze indicator, or something that identifies a squeeze, because it's, I don't want to be hyperbolic, right? But I know of no time in the market where contraction has not led to expansion, right? Now, it may not be dramatic like this. I mean, you could call this contraction, right? You could say, oh, there's contraction right there, expansion. I mean, we don't have absolutes, and we don't have 100% of anything in the markets, but that would be about as close as you can get to something we can reliably count on to happen, right? So if this is 1, 2, well, I got a funky little 1, 2 there. Now, of course, it looks a little bit different in log scale, so we can take this one out. Although, note here, we don't even have the first target. It comes right down in the pocket here between. I'm pulling from this 50 in the golden zone, right? We're not even to this high yet, so very reasonable target. Okay, so let's pull this one off just to clear it up a little bit. Here we go, right? So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like a good candidate for a 1. Looks like it's a combo coming down here. Note how it gets awful choppy, but we can see the swing structure to suggest that I've got a candidate here for the Y, since I finished with a 3 to give me that. Now the difference here, right? This is not sideways, right? I guess you'd call this sharp. 3, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sure looks like a 4. How do we know it's a 4? We stop progressing the trend, all right? Consolidate, triangle. Oh, that could come lower, right? You've got nice fair value gaps. Let's get to a 4. You've got nice displacement here. So if that's the if that's the 2 here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Could be in, but this sure looks like a 4. You see a nice 3 there. A, B, C. Are we starting here to go? Well, that's not one. Well, look where you are, right? So I'd be cautious about buying here. Now, that's not the all-time high, right? Obviously, but be careful there, right? If you're going to do it, I mean, I'm saying don't do it, right? You got a good target there. You got to. I mean, the channeling here is perfect. Just have a stop on it, right? And don't expect that we're going to the moon here. If this is 1 and this is 2, we're going to need a 1 and a 2 of 3, right? 3 is way up here. If we're going to go 1, 2. All right, well, just again, we don't know, but if we did this, you would anticipate we'd have break of structure, all of that. You'd anticipate this before we go. That's what you would anticipate. That doesn't mean we know that's what's going to happen, but that's That's a reasonable hypothesis given, I don't know, 96 years of precedent. You might do something like that. So on your watch list, it's your choice, right? Whether you want to push that, maybe get a pop over the weekends. Hard to say, right? On a Friday. Crypto never sleeps, but you've got to push there. Don't, I mean, the max would be if that's the one. Don't give it over that. All right, and anticipate, and if you skip this one, be looking for the retrace on because that'll be 1, 2 before we go for 3. All right, so another one to keep your eyes on if you're not ready to take that right now. I wouldn't myself, right? I'll wait for that. Okay, let me keep moving down the list. HBAR, this one's just vertical. Oh, let's get to a daily here. Let's see if we can do anything with this. Okay, 5 up. Looks like we're going to truncate here. That's the A, B. You've got this clear diag here. And then this craziness. A, B, looks like we finished with a C here, so with a little truncation down here. So coming off of that, let's go to a 4 here. This is just, welcome to crypto, all right? What a time to be a crypto trader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wouldn't chase that now. So while we look here and we see, oh, it's in an uptrend, it's now gone neutral. So if you look, all right, so this is what we'd be waiting for, and I just drew that in. All right, so we've got a little bullish order flow. 38 to the 50, all right, if you're lucky. This is a good 3. It's just, I'm just looking here based on the size here. Do we want to consider this? This is the deepest retracement we have here, right? Is this 2? It's possible here that we finished here, but then this would be your 2. I'd stick with this for the time being because I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that fits in there. If you're in it and it keeps rolling here, because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, that may have more to go. You're chasing now. Right? I'd let whatever is here complete and then wait for the retrace. So not much of a pullback on Hedera. Neutral, right? We got ALGO's neutral as well now. Okay. Your choice is you want to chase that. I'd wait on that one. Let's go to Ripple. Okay, everybody is very excited about Ripple. Okay, I think with Ripple, to get perspective here in this, I've gone back and forth on this, but I defer to my Elliott wizards. And one of them, Sensei PK, right? Many of you have seen him here doing videos as well when I'm unavailable. This is his count, which I prefer. I think this is perfectly valid. I have seen some very good technicians, Elliott Wave technicians, with alternate counts. But until it's something to change this, I don't see how we don't love this. 1, 2, 3, sideways 4. Long wait for, okay, resolution with some of the regulatory issues challenging them. Okay, right, so that would be 30. I'm just kind of randomly here. You could length of the 1 from the proposed 4. Well, I mean, that could be it, 436. I'd be inclined to be thinking 19, 20 bucks up here. Get 1618, right, given all the potential that's there for Ripple. I mean, the market cap has exploded. This needs to continue. We take it to a daily. I can't say I love that. 1, 2, or I don't want this here. No, it's there. So let's dig in there. If I don't know, it matters at this point. 1, 2. Jesus, that's ugly, right? So you'd have to be 1. I'd do 1, 2. Right, if I have to add another one, no problem. Where's your 3? No, I mean that's got to put them somewhere. Does that look like a 3? Well, let's go to a 4, maybe. 3, triangle, or running flat. 1, oh, geez, that looks like a... That's a tough call there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's we're getting up there. I don't like the 2 to the 4, so makes me want to connect all of this. So I'm more inclined to be looking this way, because I don't want to. Right, you've heard me or seen me say this many times. I never ever want to do this, ever. Right? That's not good, Elliott. Right? That is not the right look, and so that's what we'd be forced into here. So I'm inclined to think whatever we're doing here, this is all self-contained. So, right, whatever it is right here, I'll wait for something to push out of that. I'll sit with the 2 here. Okay, keep going. Right, I'm plenty long here in Ripple, so it's fine with me if it keeps rolling here, and I have no intention of selling it. So, okay, I sell it at 20 bucks. Something up like this. This is all part of the 3. Now, where does the 4 come? Right, 4. So what I would accept here, right, in terms of something I'd be interested in trading, something like this. Right, and now we can change the channeling. If I got that and a sideways 4 and it balanced out, now I have the right look. Now I have what I'm looking for. So the length of time of that 2 has me cautious here. I'll let the 3 complete. Okay, that's my approach. I don't want to tell you not to buy something. I just think this is, well, okay, so where's the obvious liquidity, right? Sitting up here, right? So pop and drop wouldn't be unusual. So cautious right there, right? Every major pivot, right? It's always liquidity. So I would be cautious about longing into this at the moment. Wait for the retrace, right? Wait for the 4, right? Catch the 5, right? You might get a big 5. Be plenty of RR there. Okay, let me AXS. 1, 2, 3, 4. A few more. Okay, so let me. Obviously, we got to reset that. Okay, all the way up. Now on many of these, I'm using the crypto. It's not an exchange, right? This is the aggregate, so I can get the full history, right? All the trading we do is on BloFin. But here, okay, what again, take it out of log. Round trip, right? Crypto round trip. Let's get in there a little bit. Not much you can see there other than we came out of a squeeze. Let's try a 4-hour here. So squeeze. Okay, so let's reset. Let's get into log. Interesting how this set of median lines from the 1, 2. Well, okay, right, so your 80%, you got it too soon, really. You don't want it that fast, but there it is. Boom, there's your 80. Now 80 it's a one-time event, right? You only get those odds one time. So, okay, well here now we're going to the other side of the parallel. So it sure looks like I've got 1, 2 and a very nice completed impulse in here. So if this is 1, 2, I suppose we can take that off now, right? So we have a nice channel here, looking for the 4. If that's the 3, looks like I think we went 227 here. Just shy of it. 227, right? So a pretty big rip here. It's interesting. Here's the high probability location for a 3rd, but it's the internal 3rd, right? So thus 1, 2, could we get that far? Well, we might, right, if there's another kick in this. But right now it looks like it's putting in the 4. The 3 is in, and we're going to go for a 5 up here. Could be 2618. Nice channeling, right? Look, Vegas wave, supporting all the way up. No reason to be thinking anything other than next retrace is a buying opportunity. It's just, I don't know why you would think anything else, right? Until proven, right, that we have some sort of a trend change, right? Right now, pullbacks to be bought. So on Axe Infinity, this always makes me think of Axe body spray, or it was silly thing to say, but that's what pops into my head. All right, one of my stepsons was very into that. Okay, right, so 4 into 5, right? So looks like you're just waiting, right? So I'd tee that up on your wait list, set an alert. We get into this, that 50% there, maybe $8, somewhere around there, $8.10. I'd set an alert and then take a peek, see does it look like it's ready for a setup, right? Relatively low risk, high reward, just what we look for, right? All of the ingredients are there for a very nice trade. So I'd keep that one on your watch list and ready to punch. Algo, let's look at that one. They're all, right, all of crypto is they're ripping impulses. So let me come back to a daily here. Long build up. So much of crypto did this. Waiting for the election results. Right? So we got a crypto friendly result, and they all, I mean, almost all of them did the same thing. Right? Boom, boom, boom. Here's November 5th, November 6th, right? And we launch. Oh, let's go to a 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks to me like we've got to do this as an extension, because if you complete it, it's tempting, right? When I first looked at it, right, your eye kind of looks at it and thinks, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? You've got the perfect look, right? Oh, it's perfect, but that is a shallow 2. But it looks to me like that 2 would be so shallow relative to the start here that more probable, right? Again, we don't know until it's done. More probable is that we're kicking an extension into the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's perfect. 3, and then I don't want to be done here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like this is all an extension in the 5th. Nice. This all self-contained in this channel, right? So critical to good Elliott. So buyable here, absolutely. You can buy it right now. I'm going to buy some. I think I've got some of this. I mean, why would you not buy it? Look here, right? We just came out of a squeeze. Here's the 3, 4, right? Coming back to the 0 line here as we start to push back up. All right. Do we have, what am I on, a 4 hour? Okay, good sign. Yet all the ingredients we look for here, they swept the low, right? So there's a liquidity sweep at the low, right? Just the fingerprint or footprint or price print that you want to see. Was there a liquidity grab? Yes, there was, right? And are we pushing out of that with displacement? Well, let's see if we go to a 60. All right, so here's the sweep, push, right? Now we've got, right, display. Well, those are inverse, right? Those are being tied over here. Let's see if I go to get rid of inverse. Oh, I guess we've already reclaimed, right? So this, we don't have them on a, let's see, on a 30. I don't, right? It looks like all we're not leaving any fair value gaps here, but it certainly is one time frame, right? We're not taking out the lows of any of these, right? So it's all just that straight, right? So here's the last little pullback here where we had a little consolidation. I mean, you could even call this, did we get a squeeze there? We did. Oh, it's probably hard to see. You've got one dot of black here as we squeezed before we went higher. That's on a 30-minute. Right now, maybe you don't want to chase that. So maybe you let that complete here, whatever it's doing, right? And then look for that. You're very clear risk reward, right? So you could do it that way. And I don't know, right, when that stops. But whenever we start that retrace, well, you could kind of tee it up right here, right? You'd have this kind of a order block here down before we go up. If we come into that, I'd buy it, stop under the low, right? Pretty straightforward. Okay, let's keep moving. What do I got? Neo. Neo comes in and out of favor. Oh, shit. Sorry, I shouldn't be doing that. I'm trying to manage a trade while I'm doing this. But it was so good. Okay, right. So, all right, let me get rid of that one. Let's go back to a daily on Neo. Okay, Neo. Let's get this one down here. Okay, sure looks like we're doing an LD right here, a leading diag. So as we look now, I'm just projecting here. I don't have this, but if we were to get from the projection here, from the start of the 1 through the pivot of the 3, from the 4, 100 is very common. You see it would line up nicely with the trend line here of the expanded diag here. So if we were to get that, and again, I don't have this, but that's kind of the range we might be looking for. You can see a liquidity point right here where you might see that sweep up, grab that liquidity, and then bring it back down here. So, that's retail bait right there. So up we go. And of course we don't know until we see it, right? That could certainly go higher, but right now that looks like a pretty good start. And then to come back down here for the 2 would be the setup for the 3. Now, when do we get this, right? The note here, I'm looking at a daily. That could be summer, June, July of 25, September of 25, right? So when you're looking at a daily, right, be prepared to be patient for some of these. All right, that's the trade-off when you're trading these bigger time frames here, right? You've got to wait and be more patient, but the payoff is, massive, right? That's why you do it. Okay, so Neo, I don't think there's anything to do here until this completes and start looking for the for the retrace. So I'd get that on your watch list. Maybe you put an alert here, as I have an alert when we ping this, and then I'd be looking for a retrace. So one for the watch list, but maybe not in the very near term. Solano, maybe the best Elliott Wave candidate on the board after this clear impulse retrace. Sharp double. Okay, so I'm off of this low. Let's, what am I on here? I'm still on crypto. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Okay, let's go to a 4-hour. We've looked at this many times, so just for a refresh and a second look at it here. Where are we? Okay, well, this looks like a good location for the 4. This is a bit of a judgment call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here's an impulse. It gives me the 2 into a 3. Little truncation on the 2, but it looks like 1, 2 because the depth of that retracement, and we overlap the 1, so you can't go 1, 2, 3. Right? Again, Elliott guiding your swing structure there. Oh, watching that trade. Absolutely, just very rude of me to be doing that, but now that I'm in it, I'm hoping to get that target. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Okay, we're running into some resistance here. All right, so if you look at that, you're like, oh, I wonder what's holding it up here. Well, I have imbalances. It looks like a nice, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like a nice zigzag to get you to the 4. It's right here to this prior consolidation. From contraction comes expansion, coming back to the consolidation. So you know on a, oh, I'm on crypto here, so I can't get volume profile, but you know that would be a high volume node. So we've come back to it where size can enter the market and not be terribly disruptive because you'll have so much liquidity there. So we go, oh, is it the imbalances there? Is that what's causing it? Or is it the golden zone? We got a wick that popped on the other side of it here, but we're not quite through here. Do we want to buy? Well, you can certainly see one potential is here that we're going to go WX and then we're going to come lower for a Y. Right? We can't eliminate that. So, and the reason I do that is because this looks like a pretty good zigzag, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got a clear zigzag. The problem is this. You might say, oh, God, zigzag in. Oh, what is that? 1, 2. That looks like 30. It's kind of a disappointing. If this is the zigzag to launch from, okay, we had some displacement here, but this, what happened? Got kind of ugly there. Could you? Well, maybe you can squeeze yourself into it. Oh, God, that's ugly. It would have to be, because there's a 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty skinny up here. So that's a weight, right? There's nothing there, right? Even I'm trying. Can I label it somehow? Right? Even if you were thinking flat, right? So you might be looking at this or diag here, ABC. Okay, is that a 1? Well, at least it would have to be. Yeah, I mean, so this is a good example here of, right? So we all want to buy Solana, right? But is that the setup that you want? Now you could say, oh fuck, who cares, right? I'll buy it, just dollar cost average if it comes down, right? That's not a ridiculous thought, but is that a 2? Or does it have to come lower? It's not good enough. So why force something? Here, let's get that out of there. Why force something? I don't know what it is, right? Here's what I could see, right? This potentially could turn into an X, and then we're going to come down here for a Y, right? It wouldn't disrupt the count terribly. So let's consider that, right? If we're coming over here, let me get rid of this. If this is W, you can kind of right in your face. W, X, Y. All right, again, I kind of frame this off like this. I use all of this. These are the imbalances here are being refilled or mitigated, I should say, right? So here, if that's the X, we go on X here, down for a Y. Well, then we'd be looking for an ABC to finish it. Maybe we come lower. If we got that, that would be a gift. Please. I wouldn't be disappointed if we had that, even though I'm very long in Solana. I would love to get some more, but I'm not buying into that. I mean, you could look at all of this as just consolidation, right? Now, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Do we know which way is coming out of that? No. See, this doesn't give us any real clear direction, right? The one thing I can see is that a zigzag is completed. Well, that's not an impulse. So I'm reluctant to chase that, even though, oh, squeeze, right, no, expansion is going to come from that squeeze, but I'm not sure which way that's coming, right? Now, Vegas wave right here, perfect tag at the 233, right? It's all supportive. It's all bullish. But just because it's bullish doesn't mean, well, I mean, if you want to, I'm just saying to have a stop on it. There's nothing here that would support the idea of, oh, God, time to get long. Other than, looking back historically, well, okay, is this the 4? Is this the 4? Is the 4 over here? 4 over here, and we're just having a sloppy start. Who wants sloppy? I'll leave that alone. Okay, right. So Solana, I think that's hurry up and wait, right? Look for a better entry. If it launches here, then it would be, what would it be, right? It would be the 1 of the 5th, right? So I don't feel like you haven't missed it, right? There'll likely be a 2 and then 4. Okay, 41, going pretty well. Okay, this is going to be a shorter one. It's good for me. Okay, Wi-Fi. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, what did must be Friday. WIF, dog with hat. Dog with, what the fuck? Dog with hat. WIF. Must be Friday. All right, where's dog with hat? Kind of the same thing, right? Looks exactly the same. Where is this the 4? Is this 1, 2? Is this the 4? Is that good enough to trade? Well, let's pull back to a daily. It's got potential, right? We've got a little bit of a overlap here, as I recall on this, right? Well, one note here, squeeze, right? So we're in consolidation, a lot of squeezing here on a daily in dog with hat. Okay, well, let's pull this off for a second. Okay, pick your poison here, right? Again, it's that same, they all did the same thing, right? They all just went sideways, waiting for election results, right? Where's, somewhere in here, right? Here's the launch. So it did a push and then came back, interestingly. Then there's the 6 right there, and we launched, right? So is this 1? Well, it looks like you could do it here. Oh, as I recall, if I went down to a 1 here, I had to work that 4 here because there's such a, I mean, you could do 1, 2, but then you're ending up with a 3, right? So it looks like you've got a running flat here, and then I can finish the 1 here for the 2, for the 2. This is a guess. This looks like 5. Yeah, again, it's kind of a judgment call here. Does it matter, right? Where are we starting here? Are we starting here? Is this the 1? Right? It kind of makes it. Pick your 2 here, right? It looks like there's a 5 that comes down here, so some sort of truncation. All of this. What is it, right? Squeeze, 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 pop. Okay, well here I get a complete impulse. So it makes me, I kind of move away from the diag thinking in that because I've got a clear impulse here. So, what am I, a 2 hour? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got to deal with that. Well, this looks like 3, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like I can get away with a running flat there. 4, 5 into a 1. 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're coming back here. Now, you'll note here, if this is a completed impulse and I'm going to go ABC, well, I think it plays better here to have this be the 2. So if I'm pulling from the absolute low, I don't quite make the 50. There's no obligation that it makes the 50, right? It's just that's where we would usually look for it. So I think coming off of this, because I get that big rip, that sure looks like an impulse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3. Now we've come back down here and we're getting little overlaps here. Let's see, let's take it on a log scale. This is wick here, so I use the highest close, and that kind of gets us through with that. You got to count here? No, you don't. So there is in this chop here, from it, there comes a little 5. So it makes me think that, oh, I could probably get away with that. Now let me pull from here. One of these kind of sets up pretty nicely. All right, so we look here and we think, okay, what's going on here? Why all this consolidation here? Is it this? Is it this? Is it the Vegas wave? Is it the bullish order flow? Or is it AL? Well, you know what I'm going to tell you. Of course it's AL, right? So the algo's fighting here, right? Trying to hold the 65. You got this that frames it pretty nicely. I'd be inclined because of a 5 that comes off of there. I don't know if I label it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems like we've got a decent contender there for a leading diag. So 1 barely stays above it, barely, but it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leading diag, ABC, just barely snakes. 1, 2. All right, another diag. Yeah, again, it's kind of, you know, don't force. You don't need to, right? It's very likely you're going to be in an algo box here. So we'll pull from this side to this side. You're going to have this resistance up here. I'd be curious to pull from some of this. That's cleared it. Now you're hitting the 50 secondary pivot. So why do I use that one? I'm not just randomly looking. I'm trying to see, did they use it? Did the algo use it? You could make a case, right? Oh, if I get right on that, that you're not, you know, that's a front run on the 50. Here's, so you'd have to do it this way. Second target. So not a random, oh, let's use that one, see if it's better, right? Did they use it, right? That's all that's the requirement. Looks like they did. So, okay, so pushing here, okay, right? I'd like to see it clear this. So the 4 to the 5 would be more what I'd be looking for. This is a rough start. Essentially what's happening here. Consolidation. Lots of squeeze. See all that black? Lots of squeeze, right? Which would make sense, right? Considering the price action. So I don't know that I'd be interested in jumping in here just to be in the market. Dog Wi-Fi. I may have to start calling it that way so I don't sound like an idiot calling it Wi-Fi. I don't know where that came from. Must be Friday. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 looks decent here, but I wouldn't chase that here. You've got this is obvious liquidity here, so you know that's likely. That's the kind of thing that that the algos would look for, sweep, right, and get a retrace. All right, who's gonna, you know, there's liquidity there, liquidity, right? So all of that is just sitting there. That's the low-hanging fruit, easy to grab. Maybe you get something like, and you start to get a 3 that comes out of here. Is this the 1, 2, right? We're starting with some sort of an ugly diag, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Diag. The reason diag is found at first and the end is because the trend in the beginning is struggling to get started. At the end, it's struggling to hang on. Right? And that's why you see all the overlap here as the trend runs out of steam, or as it's struggling to get started here. It's all the bull and bear battle that creates the diag. Okay, I think I made it. All right, did I get everybody? I did everybody. Okay, good. All right, so there we go. All right, it's a few things to think about. Hopefully a few things you might add to your watch list. Always encourage you to come over and check these. I think they have a week or 10-day or even a 2-week. They have a generous trial you can do here. I guarantee you're going to like it once you get in there. Okay, well, so there I got consolidation, waiting. We've been through everything. Bitcoin, how are we doing over here at the end of the day? We're going to take towards that. What is it? I mean, that's a 15-minute. What is this? It's basically a whale dump and then recover. But, God, even on a 5-minute. It doesn't look like a great impulse. So it still makes me think, oh, is there one more leg down here? I mean, you almost can't put any structure to that. You really can't, right? So I'm not sure I would. It needs more shape, right? Something has to happen here to give us a little bit more to work with. Is this what we're trying to do? Something like that? Is that the 2? I'm in on a 5-minute, right? So all you have is the snapback to consolidation and sideways, and now we're grinding. Tough one to make that to apply any whether you're using market structure or anything, right? What shit? We've blown through the fibs on both sides, so you're just kind of in a range, right? In recovery. Go back to the 60. It seems pretty consistent with the idea that whatever we've done here is a flat or a sideways. I don't know, it's flat or a combo. What are we looking for there? Not the top, the 3. Top. And what will it be the top of? High class problems. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. I hope that helps. Just a reminder, right? We've got this little contest going on, right? So look at our links down below. You'd be up and running in minutes, right? So you'll like this exchange. I wouldn't recommend it if it wasn't a good one. Okay, guys, have a good weekend. I'll catch you next week.